Welcome back in, everybody, from that very short break. This best of 5 to decide land has already been a banger. Map 1 Breeze going to overtime. SJSU Blue riding that comeback trail and taking down Alberta 14-12, that first overtime period. Man, what a map. I believe we are going over to Pearl for that second map to see if Alberta can answer the bell, make this into a 1-1 series, or will SJSU Blue start to snowball this momentum into something even greater?
And of course, the crazy thing about that Breeze opening specifically was the fact that it was SJSU's map pick at that. So going over to Pearl, Alberta, are going to have to sort of bring something new to the table. And I think out of all of the sort of maps that we've seen, Pearl, of course, going to be the least seen because it's the newest map at that. But Alberta has shown a little bit of a liking to this one specifically. Pearl going to be 4-2 on it. That means they've played a decent amount of it. Yes, they do have a couple of losses there, but nonetheless, it is still working out in their favor. One of those losses was very recently to Fisher College Navy, which once again, a very strong team in their own right. We're talking about, the top of the top, the highest echelon of teams at this point. So, I mean, losing the game on the map, it's going to happen, but nonetheless, confident in their Pearl performances here and looking to bring that pain to SJSU. And I think going to be curious to see what comps we see as well, because I think we've sort of decided among us at the very least that, it might be just adapting on the fly. We might see a Reno, we might see a Phoenix thrown in there. There's Sage that sometimes gets thrown in there as well. It's sort of the Wild West on Pearl.
I know you would love to see that, Sage, Adam, being a big fan of the agent yourself, but that's the thing about Pearl too. People are still kind of figuring stuff out, so we might see some adaptations in these agents. These two teams might have differing ideas, especially considering that attack and that defensive half. You never might know what kind of strategy, what we might see end up pulling out. Also, one thing to note, is Alberta going to be able to mentally reset? I mean, that was kind of a heartbreaker of a game. They definitely played extremely well. They were definitely in position to win that game, but are they going to be kicking themselves a little bit after that map one? Are they going to shove it to the side, go, okay, guys, potentially 4 more maps to play here. Let's not let that first one get under our skin. They might have stole that one away from us. We thought we had it, but you have a whole lot more Valorant left to play still.
Yeah, I think that overall, we need to just see the resilience of Alberta in a lot of ways as well. At the end of the day, what they need to do is just say, hey, this is our map pick. We gave SJSU a run for their money in that first half on their map pick. Let's just dominate on ours. Let's show them why we pick Pearl and why we are going to why we are so to be feared in that sense.
Exactly.
Well.
They're going to show why they're one of these top collegiate teams. They have consistently performed, as we mentioned, only losing one match in like their last 7 or 8 games, maybe even a longer stretch than that. This team, not only have they been winning, they have been dominant in a majority of these matches. And that resilience is definitely an interesting point, because a lot of these teams, when they're flying high like this, yes, they did have that loss to Fisher, but this team, they've been flying so high. You might wonder, when they get their wings clipped, how are they going to answer? How are they going to find some way to build themselves back up? But a team with this much talent, and I mean, hey, as long as you have velocity at the helm and you have Shimmy and the rest of these guys are doing work, you've got to like your chances. And I mean, hey, we said we were expecting to see 5 maps. If map 1 was any indication, we're going to be in for a long night.
Yeah, and I think especially with Pearl just being a very difficult map to sort of scrim as well. I think the main thing about Valorant scrims is teams are like, are we going to ever play this map? Or we're just going to ban Pearl. And then they don't scrim Pearl, and that's the issue. Or a lot of situations like, oh, we're only scrimming Pearl. And then it's like, I've heard they've been scrimming Pearl, all that sort of stuff. The Valorant grapevine is very interesting when it comes to scrims and the like. Heard a little bit of information from other managers and stuff. I'm not going to reveal anything on that front, but nonetheless, that scrims are very much dependent on maps and everything. So it really just depends on which maps you have more time on, whether you have show matches or whether you have scrims in the back, or whether you have just games that are off stream that are just sort of recorded and say, hey, did they actually dominate this map, or was it a little bit of a false narrative there? Nonetheless, here we go on to map number 2, and already some switch-ups coming through. It's a Killjoy coming through from Teddy once again. Really a fan of these actual Sentinels. No chambers there. Just playing Sentinels that control space and all of that, and Winter already moving forward so aggressively. The spray down, not quick enough to find it. Chem finds 2. It's going to be traded back quickly, though. Atlas finds 2 there.
Chem somehow finding 2 through that Prowler. That Frenzy Spray wasn't enough to take him down. We have pretty much dead even health between these two teams. I mean, the Fade and the Astra pretty much neck and neck there. KJ Turret going to get a little bit of information out here in Teddy. As you said, that traditional Sentinel, a true Sentinel in the terms of the definition. Not going to be playing that pseudo-duelist. Curry trying to see if he can line things up on this B-long play. Waiting for some teammates to group up. That Astra kind of off in no man's land in that middle area, just scouting what work has been done. Gonna maybe make that walk over to B, and they're playing it so slow. These 2 members going all the way over to A, they have no idea.
And the main thing is that I think they're aware of that Killjoy turret cooldown. They're just waiting until it's, maybe 5-10 seconds up. And look at this, the late rotation coming through from Teddy. I'm going to be the only one left on site. But little do they know, behind the Viper wall, there is 3, and they're going all the way into hallway. Are they going to be able to find the aim? Velocity, though, going to be taken down by the swarm grenades. Teddy sets the trap perfectly and executes on it. Atlas, though, going to find a 3 for themselves. And now Curry going to place that plant down. Going to be a difficult road ahead, though, because there is low health bar specifically on Atlas there. It's low health bar. Yeah. One shot each.
Everybody here could drop at the, could end up falling at the drop of a hat here. Atlas trying to get those stars going. He's going to find it. That's 4 on the round for Atlas. Can he find the timing on Chem? He might be able to. 1v1. Look at the HP. Can Atlas find the ace? Make it 5 on pistol. Atlas opens things up with authority. That's going to be a big round, and that's going to be a nice little momentum starter over here on Pearl.
Hey, that statue in the middle, right? That's actually Atlas, like Atlas IRL.
It's true, it's true.
That's him right there, carrying this game already. Find the ace on the pistol round. Hey, talk about getting off on the right foot, saying, you know what? Who cares about Breeze? Who cares about what happened there? Dropping an ace round 1. That's one way to make a statement there. And it's Atlas, of all people, who, playing these controllers, playing these, more utility-based agent, says, you know what, I'll just do it all myself.
Yeah, I said he struggled a little bit that second half of Breeze, which he did, immediately finding 5 frags in round 1. That's gotta feel so good for him. Maybe he feels like he was kicking himself after that first map. Big Warp, though, gonna open things up, finding that kill over on Velocity. That's gonna be always a nice member to take out early. It's gonna be a very heavy A push, though. Teddy with this Killjoy, trying to hide in the corner. Curry, though, with that Frenzy, gonna be a little bit too much to handle.
Oh, not this
Always,
again. They're
man.
playing on the wrong sides of the map once again. I think we're going to be leading the charge here. 40 health, though. Velocity did do the damage. Atlas going to find 1, find 2. No way, man. Atlas finds the 3rd. The firepower is just a little bit too much. It'll get taken down by John Hamm. They're finally getting the heat check down, but John Hamm, 8 health, 4 health, will be taken down. Winner picks up that Vandal, and you Alberta off to the
Yeah, look at Atlas. We talk about all these other players being the ones to find these frags. Atlas says, hey, boys, you've been in the spotlight for enough time. Let me pull out this Astra, and let me pull out these kills as well. 8 and 1 through the first 2 rounds. That is exactly what you're looking for, especially out of your main controller player. Curry also on that Viper, but Atlas getting these players going early. You're expecting Shimmy and Velocity to find these frags at some point. You're not worried about that. It's all these other supplementary pieces. When they can really come together like this, that's what makes both of these teams equally dangerous.
I mean, Velocity just looking at the score and being like,
all right,
hey, cool, what's going on? I mean, I'm just able to lurk. I'm able to do my chamber thing. Atlas just popping off at this point. Nonetheless, now sort of even buys on both sides. Actually, a lot of Vandals picked up on the side of Alberta on that bonus round as well. They're looking to push forward their advantages. They don't want to give any sort of, oh, we're mixed econ, we're bonus rounding. No, none of that crap. They're looking to push the tempo of this game, and Atlas definitely going to be that one to lead the charge. And this Astra doing a really interesting role of lurking while also controlling the map there. Shows how confident all of these players are in playing with each other. They know the abilities of every single one of their players, and Atlas just already going to town here. He's doing absolutely everything, basically.
Yeah, and I think part of Atlas willing to take those challenges in mid is he has gotten his confidence this game already. He found enough kills. He is ready in action for this game. He's got his feet under him. That timing in the middle, though. He turns his back to that fade. He's going to turn, find the kill into Big Worm. Not going to find that re-engage. Chem making a great read in that middle area. Does get tagged down for his trouble, though, a little bit. Oh, kill. Velocity picking up that one over onto John Hamm, making this into a 4v3 advantage. Looks like it's going to be Teddy all alone, left with his robots on that A site. He is going to pick up that kill onto Curry, though. That's going to be a massive kill. That's going to give time for rotation, buy them time on the plant. He's going to pick up another one. Shimmy there for the trade. Shimmy, though, 30 HP to his name. This is a very, very dangerous spot to be in. He will be able to find this plant, though.
Look at where Velocity is, though. Perfect lurk through Art here, but will they find the timing? It is all down to that. The Prowler going to spot them out. Velocity going to find one for themselves. Second kill of the round. They're just going to back all the way off, though. They're going to play it safe. Shimmy was meant to hold the line. Just waiting. Don't want to throw out that utility, but giving away their position now. Will Khan read that one? Shimmy doing a great job moving around, and now Velocity on the outer side of this. Going to get popped out by that knife. Actually blinding themselves there. A little bit of a difficult situation, but Khan holds the line. and SJSU get their round back.
Yeah, that is a very big play by that KO, able to clear out those corners, take the fade out, turn on velocity, and find that last kill. That's going to be a much-needed round for SJSU. Both of these teams, we know how hot they can get. They can get nuclear levels of hot. You want to stunt that momentum before it can really get going, especially, like we said, velocity and Shimmy and Curry, guys like this, we're expecting the frags to come at some point throughout the game. If Atlas is off to this hot start, you have to find some way to put the kibosh on it and kind of bring a stop to things. They're going to have a very, very nice buy. 5 rifles going to come through for the side of U Alberta there, and then it'll be a couple rifles and a couple specters, a little bit of a full house buy coming through on the other side there.
Yeah, and I think, especially when you look at Atlas here, you know, averaging being good for 3 right now is a little bit disgusting to deal with at that point, but nonetheless, we'll see if they can continue that torrid pace. Again, though, this Killjoy going to be the only one holding down this B site, but going to be sort of zoned off of that. The Astra Star's coming down, but might be a little bit late. There's this Killjoy to wonder where she is lurking. Gotta keep an eye out for it. Teddy, unable to hear anything through that wall. Blocking out all that sound. And the Viper wall, the Astra wall placed down almost on top of each other, making it so difficult to contest.
Yeah, this is the Observer's best friend, the old Viper-Astra combo. So difficult to navigate, especially for these players. Nightfall going to come through Teddy, trying to find the timing. Oh, Trade going to come out on that backside, though. John Hamm good for one as well. Nightfall the other way. Last pack not going to be any good, though. Trades back and forth. Witter ends up finding 2. Shimmy taking out Pond. 3 for Shimmy in a clutch. What a mess of a round. Ultimately, though, Shimmy, the last man standing.
Yeah, shout out to our observers for catching most of that, honestly, because that was just everything thrown all at once, and we're just like, okay, kills are going, yeah, oh, someone clutches it out. That's what happens. We get the easy job at that, so shout out to them, of course. But nonetheless, Alberta bouncing back hard, you know, against that full house buy, as you were saying. They were forced to sort of pick up those Spectres as a sort of fail-safe in that situation, and now it's just 1 Spectre picked up by Curry. But on the flip side, you can see it's Sheriffs. It's going to be a couple of classics. Just trying to hold the line. Where, though, look at this. Do they have the movement? Satcheling forward already. Ooh, just going to be taken down. Con with the head taps.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. Sheriff headshot is found there. Boombot going out there. Look at all the utility coming through. They can smell that push coming. Look how much damage is tagged up, though. But it was just that decay. They weren't able to go on the back of it. Now they're going to get that reset. Little spray down coming through this box. Thigworm. He just wants the ult orb, man. Let the man have his ult orb. We see him jump peeking back and forth. Both of these teams coming neck and neck. Only 1 kill somehow coming out of that.
Yeah, and that Seize was so good if only the Raze was alive for the nade, but Velocity on the lurk, on the prowl like a wolf hunting prey. Shimmy gonna find a couple to open it up. Atlas finds another one, and now Velocity comes around the corner. John Hamm gonna fall. It's a 2v1 on site. The Killjoy has that lockdown available, but how useful will it be on a retake scenario?
Yeah, and Killjoy's worst nightmare is setting everything up at B and hearing that spike get planted at A. It is the #1 feeling of dread, having to make that long rotation. Atlas playing over on that Astra. Vandal going to be recovered, though. Do they know he's right here? If he's able to clear this corner, good things might happen. First kill is found. Does he have the timing, though? He's going to walk away. Velocity not going to pick up on that quite yet. Putting this turret to cover that backside. Oh, Velocity, the timing. Teddy's going to win that one out, though. Turns on Velocity. And the Killjoy, the long rotation from B, he's going to find all the success he needs. And that'll be a clutch for Shimmy, or a clutch for Teddy, rather. That is a huge round.
Yeah, 2-shot Teddy there. Quite literally, 1 head tap on to the Astra, 1 head tap on to the chamber afterwards. Playing that out, excellent. And didn't need that lockdown, didn't need to use a whole lot. Was able to recover a Vandal out of that round as well. And now you see, it's going to be Hero Vandal time for Shimmy. Rest of the team just going to try and save up a little bit here. Very interesting turn of events here. Granted, Tour de Force is available for Velocity. Should be able to hold the line for themselves at the very least.
There.
Bless this map already delivering. These teams just love to go back and forth. There's so little separating these teams in terms of skill.
Do we expect anything less? That Tour de Force, though, going to be a very scary problem. Atlas getting taken out immediately by Thigworm. Astra being down, also going to be huge to determine how the rest of this round is going to play out. That's going to give SJSU such a big advantage. It's going to be that slow crawl back to this A site. They're going to walk back to this middle area, though. Thigworm trying to play this middle. Yeah, Thig is in a fantastic position. So many members about to line up. Finds one. Blast pack to try to get the double peek. Not going to find it, though. The timing not going in his favor. Curry picking up that frag. Going to narrow things to this 4v3 con. Going to take 1 shot through the door there, but nothing too worrisome as far as things go. But it's going to be a very interesting time for Alberta to try to find some kind of push here.
especially if they're pushing right into the teeth of the defense here. Pick by Teddy, Con peeking off of that as well, and it all comes down to Curry. Unfortunately, unable to find it. Double peek down that hall, so challenging to
Let's go kill them all again.
Now all tied up at threes here as we get through the first quarter, and my goodness, what is going on with these teams? They're so good. They're so back and forth. This is exciting stuff. And we were talking in between. It's like, we're expecting more than 3 maps, right? It just seems like it's hard to tell because both of these teams so close that realistically it's a coin flip as to who's going to win every single one. And the coin can land heads 3 times in a row. It is possible.
Yeah, especially seeing that 14-12. It's so, like, that's what I said. The mistakes, everything is so, like, there's such a finite room to make these mistakes, to kind of make these plays. You can't really afford to be slipping up like this. Those double Astra stars trying to slow the push. Oh, beautiful satchel peek by Thing. Velocity trades and Chem on that backside, though. Going to answer that call as well. 4v3, Nightfall, Life Orb going to come out. Curry seeing if he can find John Hamm over on this left side. Shimmy going to fire a couple shots. John Hamm is going to fall. Con with the trade. Winner knocking down Con in that null command. Chem not going to be able to find that re-swing as well. That's going to be a plant over on this A site. That attacker or that defender lockdown is going to come into play. But for the side of Alberta, they'll be able to walk away from this one. Viper Pit as well. Heavy investment from both sides.
Last player standing.
Yeah, we're just going in for it, and while the lockdown will find one, it's really just about finding who was locked down, and that's the main thing. You can sort of mess around with people with that, say, hey, someone's locked down, but who is it? You gotta find the right member. Lockdown is over, of course. Look at this angle. Teddy just trying to sneak around, be a little bit ratty in this pit, but it's ring around the rosy. Are they gonna fall first? Finding one, actually. That's gonna be the Viper gone. But Winner through the wall, able to secure that one up. The decay lasts a little bit too long. Alberta get their 4.
And even though we said the game's super even, it feels like every single round comes down to one sole survivor. That's how close even each round has been. And look at Teddy, top of the leaderboard on that Killjoy. He's been doing it, finding these rotations as well, not just hunkering down and relying on those nano swarms in that alarm bot. He has been getting very proactive around the rest of the map. And that's the one thing about Pearl that we said so much earlier. It is Lurk City on so much of this map. You can be in these little dark, shadowy tunnels. You can be so hard to track down. And if you have players that are willing and able to kind of take those chances and try to gather that space, it can pay such huge results for you.
In a lot of ways, it's as if everyone's got the Omen ult. They're all in the shadows at that point, just hiding everywhere. Big Warp, though, gonna find that frag onto Atlas, taking a couple shots, and my goodness, that was a close call there for Big Warp. Like, no fear on this race, leaping forward to find that open, or really just depends on if they can find one in return. You Alberta need to try and get that man advantage back. And
Bigger was lucky. He banged his head on that door frame too. That showstopper almost didn't go as he planned there. That almost went backfire in his face, but he does find that kill nonetheless. Escapes with a lot of HP. Chem gonna get a couple shots. He is gonna get tagged down very low by Velocity though. That's gonna be a very hard hold. Teddy getting tagged down as well. The snake bite gonna be enough there. Chem gonna end up falling to Curry. This looks like it might be Alberta's time to make a play. Teddy, he was tagged down already. He's gonna be finished off there. Winner on this backside, trying to help clear things out. Shimmy, good for yet another kill there. Now it's gonna be into a 4v2. We've seen crazier from this series, but SJSU, this is such a hard site to retake. Although, John Hamm, if you're able to find that first pick, especially on that Viper, you might be in for a nice round here. And there's the Cosmic Divide as well.
Last player standing.
Oh, but it's going to be Velocity finding one already. John Hamm under pressure already. It's a 2v1 situation. That wall is so interesting because it's right next to the spike. John Hamm can't peek. Oh my goodness, Velocity! He's caught looking the wrong way, but the wall blocks up the last couple of shots here. Is there going to be enough time? He's going to try and stick it. The Haunt going to come down. Shimmy going to come through. That's going to be Alberta barely squeaking it out once again, down to the last second, it feels like every single time, and Alberta find it.
Yeah, that was the ultimate game of chicken, and neither player really wanted to give an inch there. Ultimately, though, it was Shimmy closing out that round. I kind of liked the idea of that Cosmic Divide. John Hamm played it about as well as you could have, considering it did turn into that 1v2 pretty much immediately upon him clicking that X key. Alberta, though, they find the way to take that round back. Atlas and Shimmy both in double digits. Look, I mean, the two quote-unquote utility, abusers are going to be the two at the top of the leaderboard. Just another wrinkle in this series we thought we might not necessarily see, but I wonder, boy, if Velocity and the rest can really get going on these frags. Look at this B-long engagement, though. Tons of kills coming through, all gonna go in Alberta's favor. That's 2 down immediately, and that's Ray's hit to half HP as well.
Yeah, just marching down, boots clanging against the metal. They don't care about how much noise they're making. They are taking this B site. Quick plant gonna come down from Shimmy. 5v3 situation. No ultimates available. Make that 5v2 as Atlas able to find it with the Guardian. Now it's just down to Astra Killjoy. Not the best retake agents, much better at holding sites on their own. Atlas, though, going to be taking down Teddy with the Sheriff. Lays down the Law. Velocity will trade that one out. Now John Hamm with the Stinger. Can he find it? No, sir. Served up once again. That's 6 for the side of you all.
Teddy is kind of playing that battle Killjoy, but yeah, having a Sheriff there, going to be a little bit difficult of a play there. Going to see these rifles now going to come back into the fold here for the side of SJSU. They're trying to get these rounds going back in their favor. It seems like Alberta maybe kind of finally has that read they're looking for. They made so many plays back to back to back on that A site, which is kind of the default for Pearl more than likely. More teams, they're going to prefer that A side, a little bit easier to hold after the fact, I believe. This B side, though, they hadn't touched it the entire game, and they just go storming B long. Way too much pressure for SJSU to absorb there. They do take that round, and this is part of Pearl as well. You have to get creative, but you have to get creative in the right spots. Nightfall going to come early and through as well.
Pushing forward aggressively, Witter leading the charge here. There's that. Z's gonna land. Actually, I think we're just gonna spray him down through the smoke. I'm gonna find 2 as well. And it's a disaster in art. Night at the museum. The Tyrannosaurus Rex has struck. 2v4 situation. Velocity is gonna be vulnerable for just a little bit, but have they found the angle? Unfortunately, not gonna land the shots there. John Hamm able to clean that one up, and now all down to Atlas. But we've seen it once. Will we see it again? Gonna happen this time around. SJSU able to shut them down.
Yeah, 6-4 game, and just like that, SJSU, both of these teams, they have a never say die attitude. They are some gritty folks here. They're trying to keep this game alive. The scoreboard looking pretty even across that board. There's Shimmy just hanging in there with those 12 frags, though. Cosmic Divide going to be available for Atlas if he decides. Chem does have that Nightfall. You, Alberta, they're going to be feeling a little bit yucky after that when they pop that Nightfall. Don't really find anything with it. But we have a 6-4 game in our hands, and it's interesting to see round by round what these strategies are going to be.
Yeah, and also like to see them handing over Shimmy the Champions Phantom. They're saying, hey, get the glow on, you know, show off a little bit here. Nonetheless, going to be down B once again. They know that it's usually been Killjoy solo holding the site. Maybe trying to take advantage of that if they can go quick enough. Killjoy sometimes gets caught out by the fact that their stuff can't always do as much damage as you want in time, and now just burning through all of it, not being able to spot it out. Teddy gonna be taken down, going through that Astro Wall though. Con finds 2, Con finds 3 for himself already. Massive play from the KO Witter, also taken down very low, and now just holding angles, holding the site. They know where that spike is, and it's so difficult for the side of you, Alberta, to push forward.
That was a beautiful star by Atlas to at least recover that spike for the time being. Trying to see if he can get back here. If they're actually not going to pick up that spike. Suppress going to go through. They know these members are both going to be pinned down in this B-long area. That spike still sitting in no man's land. That is a dangerous place to be. Atlas trying his best to use those stars to maybe try to pick up that spike. But there are 4 members of SJSU weapons trained on this long, just waiting for someone to move.
Waiting for the timing as well. Bomb buddy going to be used just to even clear out that smoke, prevent it from being used right away. The C's as well, they're just using everything. John Hamm going to find the kill onto Atlas, and Big Word hitting the Raise genocide there. Going to clean that one up, and SJSU looking like they're going to tie the half. My goodness, nothing separates these teams at this point. They are oh so good.
It's like a game of tug and war right now. Both teams just mustering up all the strength they can, pulling it back and forth, swinging it on a pendulum, if you will. Both of these teams, they know the seriousness of the moment, I guess I'll say, how important this is to all these players to be on that first CVAL land. It is such a landmark tournament. Some of the best teams in the world are facing off. They want to stake their claim as one of those teams. Such an even back and forth. I would not be surprised to see another overtime, but this A push is going to be hot and heavy. They're going to send that Raise nade out there, try to see what they can get. Pate Shell's not going to quite find anything.
Yeah, just backing off for the time being. Witter just taking their time, not gonna fall for the combos coming down. And while the Fade specifically was able to spot out multiple members, it's all down to the Tour de Force. Velocity gonna find 1. That's a great opening pick. And the C's not quite gonna land onto anyone. That combo not gonna be as successful. John Hamm Cam, that's a second one picked up for Velocity. Velocity finds a 3rd. He's picking up the speed here. He wants to find anything that he can. That includes the spike and potentially the plant. And look at that through mid. Curry just walked right past Teddy. What the heck?
This is Pearl for you, man. Ships in the night,
Huh?
time after time. Velocity, we haven't called his name besides this round too often. Khan, though, we have called his name plenty. That is a big kill, and that's going to be spiked down between Teddy and between Khan. Curry, you have a lot of HP to deal with. You have Khan at 1 or 2 shots as well. If he can find this timing on Khan, this round is so winnable. He might be able to get that Vandal as well, but it's all going to come to the timing. Is he going to be able to sweep this left corner first? Headshot's going to be there. Only 1 member left. 25 seconds. The timing. He turns his back on Teddy at the last second, and Teddy's going to find the kill. Oh, no, Curry. If he had looked for another half second, he finds it, and we are at halftime, so why not burn that lockdown anyways? And just not exactly like Breeze, but we are still with a tie game 6-6 after the first half.
Oh, man. It's just going to be going down to the wire every single time. How many overtimes are we going to get through the entire situation? Can't even throw in some stuff in all chat being like, hey, listen, I know exactly what's going on here. We're just throwing it down. Nonetheless, 6-6 at the half. Granted, with this being the Alberta's map pick, maybe they've got some spice on the defensive side of things. You know, was the defense choice start for the opposite side there. It was SJSU wanting to start on that defense. Maybe this is more of a defensive map for them. They say, hey, we've got some sauce in this situation as well. We'll find out what we've got. Nonetheless, going to be going through mid here. Mid control, oh so important. And even getting that Killjoy turret down just deters anyone from walking up. It's really hard to spray those down when you don't really know where they're going to put it, especially if they're going to be moving around that turret round 1. You don't know where the Killjoy is going to be set up.
Teddy has been kind of setting up all over the map. He's done the A setup. He's done mostly the B setup. He has lurked through that middle area as well. Figwerb trying to see if he can find the timing. Witter gonna tag him through that box. Oh, that swing's gonna come. Shimmy though, getting taken out. Oh, beautiful combo. Witter gonna find that paint shell kill. Sees Raze as beautiful as a combo as you can ask. Khan on this ghost, trying to see what work he can do. Witter picking up another. That's gonna be Teddy down as well. John Ham though, right there to find that answer. Both these teams back and forth, quite literally trade for trade. The first 6 kills of this round, 2v2, and look at the HP as well. Both of these members.
Velocity, they're just walking around each other once again. But look at this, they're going down into sewer. They're trying to find the cheekiest of angles. And once again, Jobin, they just go on the opposite sides of the map. Every single time. They just hate their own sides of the map. What's going on here? The flankers flank the flankers. What's going on? How many like flank powers can we get to at this point?
How many miles run?
Eventually, they're just gonna play on their own.
How many miles run will all these players have by the end? I want to see that. I want to see how many steps they're gonna have by the end.
World Cup stats, you know, all that.
That's the tough thing with Pearl though, is that there's so many long rotations. Like you kind of have to play that guessing game. If you guess a little bit late and you don't rotate early enough, you're gonna be screwed out of a lot of that precious time. So it's ultimately it is that guessing game. It is that timing, and we consistently see it time after time. And look at, they're going to guess this backside, but it's going to be that front side A push for this team of Alberta. So we're trying to see what they can muster up here. Khan trying to cook something up with this ghost on the back line. They might go to tap this diffuser. Velocity going to peek down behind that half wall. Witter and Velocity trying to make a play here.
Last player standing.
Oh, wow.
1 enemy remaining.
Witter gonna be able to find that, and now it's a 1v1. Khan gonna be having to deal with it. Velocity finally lands the shots. Should have enough time with the spike here.
I don't think he does.
Hold.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Okay. That's how close the series is going to be. Half a second.
That's the dichotomy of this series right there in a nutshell.
Oh, my God. That's one of those things where you're just like, oh, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to talk over. Oh,
literally, I can feel it's like the bomb in my house.
Hold back.
Scared to move.
Yeah, basically. Nonetheless, getting to 7 here, getting a little bit of a lead. Defensive win coming through on the pistol. Gonna be able to try and lay it down the law once again. Witter with that Vandal, just going full aggro here. Does not care for the lives of their enemies. They need to try and frag out here. And Witter, definitely one of those members who has that agency to just pop off at a moment's notice. Seems as if they have a little bit of a read on the play here. These Astra Stars going down, but it's a slow walk forward. Atlas.
Oh my goodness.
Hanging out there. They're turning the corner, and Atlas is still on site. They don't know where he is.
Witter finds it first. Atlas and Witter are going to link it for 3. They lack the critical information. The paint shell's going to, the C's go out. What a combo. And Witter's going to find 4. And just like that, all those members get wiped off the map. That's going to be number 8. What a play. They lacked critical information. The play is still made, though. What an absolute treat.
was just chilling astral mode behind there. I was like, hey, there might be 4 walking past me on the site. I was just dropping down stars. Hey, let me help out. And then turning that corner, Witter finding 4. It's exactly what we said, though. He picked up the Vandal, was the, down near the bottom of the frag list, gets 4, now up near the top once again. Yes, they are forced to sacrifice their life for the duty. They'll have that Stinger in tow, and we've seen a lot of rounds go the way of these Stingers from time to time. It's crazy how much value this gun has gotten, especially with those buffs that came a couple patches ago. Seems like everyone's picking them up on these eco rounds, and somehow, some way, sometimes out-damaging the Vandals with that spray down. It's very difficult to contest with, but Velocity already sniping here with that Marshall. Let's see what they can find. Holding the angle, takes a shot, will just get
the
out.
Stinger buffs are almost like when the Ares got that 3-day patch where it was like basically like the Odin and the Phantom put into one. It's just so much value for these short-range fights. Thigworb gonna try to get the reswing with the Vandal. Khan and Thigworb, though, doing some great work in that 2-man push B long. They have teammates to support as well. Boombot can help clear out the rest of this site. John Hamm, he's gonna get this spike down. It'll be a little bit of momentum back to SJSU after a couple rough rounds.
Yeah, and a quick plant as well. Granted, this is pretty heavy gun advantage towards the side of SJSU. Any guns that they're able to take out, the Alberta would be quite valuable at that, but the utility just getting burned down. Atlas finding 1 onto John Hamm. Still a 4v2 situation. Thigworb has a nice little cubby to peek through onto that spike just to make sure no one's stealthing it out. Trying to find another one. Atlas, last one left on scene, and Thigworb finds their kill. It's 1 back towards the side.
Yeah, that's going to be a big round, and I mean, what are we saying? This game is going to be back and forth, back and forth. I would not be surprised if overtime ended up being the way this game unfolds. But now we're going to see a little more of an even by Velocity, though, going to be on that operator. We haven't called his name too much a lot of this game. He's that player. You're kind of waiting for that massive play to happen, but his team, they've been playing so solid around him. They haven't really needed that heroic effort, but I bet you what, they would love a 3K with that op right about now to try to really steal away this momentum.
And realistically, we look at what Velocity is setting up on. Can just basically hold B alone. You find your 1 and basically say, hey, get the homies over here. They're pulling up. Try and just hold the line as much as possible. And you see how important this mid presence is. Just walking it down, trying to get through art here. Checking out the local museums. Not going to opt to go for it this time around. Going to go through Hall, but still very difficult to contest with Curry down here. Just keep tossing utility, trying to decide which way to go. Seems as if at every corner there's just another member of Alberta.
Thigworb and Curry going to trade a couple shots there. Nothing too dangerous, though. Both of these teams, a much more patient approach this time, it would seem, coming through from SJSU. They're willing to kind of slow things down a bit. They're within 1 round of taking this game back over, at least being in that tie position. They want to make sure they cross all their T's and dot all their I's, as we have said before. They want to make sure, leave no stone unturned, especially on a map like Pearl, where there is a lot of stones to unturn, especially in that middle area on either side spawn. A-push looks like it's going to be that preference, so a couple Astra Stars might be there to slightly deter them. That Boombot going to be walking up A at the perfect time as well. See if it can spot out anything or if it's going to fizzle out before it can find anything. Oh, got that little bit of a half ping, and they got to shoot it out anyways. A is going to be the push.
Yeah, going to try and execute here. This 25-second push is going to be late on it, but Shimmy already spraying down. Showstopper going through as well, just dissuading the push, and it's all the time that they need. They're buying time. SJSU, they waited just a little bit too long, and now they're going to have to get a plant down in the next 6 seconds or so. They're not going to have time to get on site. Thigworb still has that spike, just going to get the orb for their trouble, and they're not even going to get the spike down. Velocity holding the angle. Teddy.
Oh
my goodness.
Oh, Teddy. Do not move, Teddy. Do not move a muscle. Velocity. Gonna back up, it looks like. Teddy. You know he was sweating right there, wondering if Velocity was gonna turn that corner and find that kill, and you nailed it exactly. SJSU, they just took too long, and then the problem was, not only did they take too long and not get on site, they dropped a lot of those weapons as well. That's gonna hurt the economy, especially considering this is a 9-7 game. You don't have that many rounds. There's not a lot more money that's gonna come into that bank account as we get into the later stages of this game. Gonna be a lot of rifles for both of these sides. Velocity still kicking around on that operator. He's gonna have full armor now, that slight little upgrade. See if Alberta can put together another really solid round here.
And they were looking for all these satchel peaks and everything, but ooh, that's a disgusting one-way. Oh my goodness. Wow. It's going to be holding that line, and you can just see Hall is just controlled by the side of Alberta this time around. It's just about reading which side of mid they want to control. Once again, Thigworb, that's going to be blasting the box down a little bit, seeing what's going on there, but even these mollies just buying time through door. It's exactly what you Alberta want to do. They're just trying to stall as much time as possible. And to an extent, it's working because last round, SJSU, they just ran out of time. And it's a similar situation this time around where who knows if they're going to be able to find the push in time, but moving towards B this time a little bit earlier. They've got some more time on their hands. And saying time a lot. It's time to see if Velocity is able to find this frag.
Atlas gonna go into that astral state right now, try and see if they can find anything B. This is a very, very dangerous line of sight, though. Velocity on the operator. Not gonna find that first shot. That's gonna be massive for SJ to maybe get this reswing. They're gonna try to nade him out of this backside here. Pop that KO nade as well. The knife gonna come through. Kem gonna find that first kill with the operator. He's gonna find the first one. Are they gonna be able to push him and take this off out of his hands? They will do just that. That 2v1 spray gonna be enough. Shimmy, though, gonna answer that call. Teddy trying to see if he can work out of this backside. That boombot coming out of heaven there by Witter. Atlas picking up that kill, though. The swing with Witter. He's gonna find that kill. The paint shell's gonna land, though. Teddy picking up a pair. No paint shells from after the grave here. It's gonna be Witter finding that kill. Atlas, he still thought there was another player alive. He had to make sure that he had the right idea there. I am the last one. Okay, now I can defuse this spike. Look at, he's all alone. Gonna get that defuse, though. That will be double digits for Alberta.
Yeah, and just that's the chaos of Pearl in a lot of ways. The execute on the site when you've got 15 seconds, that's just throwing everything in the kitchen sink onto that site, hoping that you can find anything in your favor. Nonetheless, it's so even across the board. Even looking at the scoreboard, look at this. Curry on the Viper, yes, being more of a utility agent at this point. Going to be the only one without double-digit frags at this point, but nonetheless, everyone else at double digits. So even across the board. Atlas, Khan leading the charge, and it's a little bit of a scuffed buy now coming through from the side of SJSU. A couple marshals, you know, there's one vandal, not a whole lot of shields built up here. It's going to be the Viper's Pit dropped onto A, so at the very least they've got that read, but Velocity finds the shot, and that's the sign that says, hey, watch out.
Yeah, he's been looking for that shot the last couple rounds. Oh, why not a second one? Poor John Ham. Atlas picking up that kill onto Kem. 5v2, that spike gonna be down. Oh, Atlas and Velocity, that two-man game working wonders. He's gonna split the uprights on Teddy there. 12 HP. Can he find at least one of these kills? Velocity, this is a dangerous, dangerous man. The jump peak coming through. They know Teddy is gonna be somewhere in this B-long. He has 12 HP to try to make heads or tails of this round. Maybe they got the info they were looking for. Shimmy gonna send those prowlers out as well. Velocity still aimed and trained, just trying to bait out Teddy here. See what they can get. Oh, the double spray. Teddy gonna pick up 2 kills. Shimmy and Velocity going down somehow. 12 HP though, still gonna be a pretty tall order. Witter and Curry just trying to lock down this site as best as possible. They have that spike hostage still.
Yeah, and right then, Witter just going to be able to find the kill on Teddy. 12 health, you know, you had to think at some point. Very difficult round. Still quite costly. I mean, specifically that operator going to be held on to, back over to Velocity. They have that tour de force available as well. And finally seems as if Velocity has found their stride here, at least on this B site. Really saying, this is my zone. Do not proceed. You know, there's no gentleman's agreement this time around, no chamber on the opposite side. Basically, it is them all alone. And maybe that's the reason why we aren't seeing as much coming through from the chambers. You gotta, you know, you have to have that inner conflict there, the alter ego on the opposite side fighting against you. Basically just throwing it down saying, hey, I'm the better shooter.
Yeah, do the Superman Clark Kent, just flip your hair the other side there. Thagorb, though, getting very aggressive in this middle area. Curry gonna punish. I'm gonna punish back, though, finding 2. Both of these teams, they always seem to go 1 for 1 or 2 for 2 to start these rounds, and it comes down to the remaining rest of these rosters to try to see what they can make out of this play. It's going to be this 3-man. They're going to be holding hands all the way over to potentially this A site. Maybe we see that long B rotation, but A looks like it'll be that first choice. It's going to be Witter, I believe, trying to hold up this close angle on A. Remember, that Astra stuck in the middle as well. This A site definitely going to be the play, I think, though.
Yeah, and of course, Velocity holding down B just in case. Cam doing a great job of clearing all these angles as the Nightfall. But look at how far back Witter's playing. So respectful of that potential. Still going to get tagged up, but it's so far down. The spray going to come through. Going to be down 2 shots at that. But Atlas hiding in the smoke. They lack critical information, as you say. Will Atlas pop out at the right time to sneak in through? John Ham gonna spot them out, gonna land the spray as well, and now it is up to Velocity. But once again, are they looking the right direction? Velocity trying to double back. Will they be able to find it? All 3 members are just stacked here, down in secret, down in dugout, trying to hold the line. The operator, will it be enough?
Oh, they're stacked up too. 1 for 1. Can he find the second? No. Beautiful job, Khan, reading that play. And that was a must-have for SJSU. They invested 2 or 3 ultimates. I believe it was 2 of them. Yeah, the Nightfall and the Null Command. If you went down 12-8, burning 2 extremely valuable ultimates, it would have been a long road back to the top. Unfortunately for them, though, Alberta, they're going to be able to put together some kind of buy. Potentially, it looks like. We're going to see. Maybe they opt for the save this round, knowing they have a couple rounds in tow. They want to really get ready. Maybe put those 3 or 4 ultimates to use, putting on the backside of a couple of those rifles. Although maybe they like the confidence. They look like they might go for it. Velocity is going to have that tour de force, so they might decide to send it this time.
There.
Yeah, it looks like they are doing it indeed that. Curry going to be the only one with a little bit less in the inventory, but of course, just comes down to the wall. It just comes down to the smoke. If you've got that lockdown specifically for B hall, mid hall, you're able to just shut that down as an option. But the tour de force not really going to get any value here because they're pushing towards A. Did they get the sound cue though? It is 5 members strong pushing forth. Waiting. The footsteps come down though, and there goes the lockdown. Will not be able to shut that one down. At least not yet. The razor grenades doing enough damage.
Yeah, very, very close. That lockdown is going to survive. Are they going to be able to use anything on the backside of it though? Looks like that blast pack going to be in there. That Roomba going to get a little bit of info. Khan finding that first pick of the round, trying to slow this down. Boombot going back the other way. Big Orb getting tagged out by that Haunt though. Boombot gonna go try to scout out that backside of sight. Paint Shell's going out. Witter gonna find that kill onto Khan. We're into a 4v4 yet again. These teams dead even halfway through the round.
Yeah, Shimmy might just have the lineups. Oh, not gonna pull the trigger in time. John Hamm finds 2 there. It's a big pickup, taking out that tour de force. We talked about the weaponry there. It's a couple of Vandals still. Look at where the Killjoy is set up, but Shimmy really going to find them. They catch him lacking. Teddy not looking the right way. Now 2v3, but it's still a incredibly difficult situation. Witter going to be taken out as well, and now it is all down to Shimmy. Even still, do you even want to risk it? Do you want to lose the gun for the efforts? There's 3 members. The crossfire is ridiculous. It seems as if Shimmy just going to back out.
Yeah. Very smart idea. You're probably not going to win that 3v1, especially considering the HP of SJSU and the fact that Spike only going to have 10 or 15 seconds left on that clock anyways. Not going to be worth his time. Not going to be worth that sweet 2900 that Bantam is going to be worth. Maybe he can find an exit frag though. I know we hear some of those footsteps, but going to be a little bit of a patty cake in that backside spawn. They're not going to peek anything out. And once again, we have an 11-9 game. Very similar to what we saw last time. We ended up seeing that overtime, and man, I'll tell you what, the way this game has gone, we are looking closer and closer like that is going to end up being the result, because this buy from Alberta, not really going to be able to come to full fruition this round. We could be looking at 11-10 after this one.
Yeah, and I think it's just about buying for next in these situations, but also being able to take some of the guns out of the hands, because you look across, and if you're able to get that win, it's not the cleanest buy on the opposite side. You're going to have to give up a little bit of util. Maybe you're going to have to drop to light shield, something along those lines if you want to commit. Velocity aggressively pushing forward, finds the kill on the thing.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge kill to kick things off, trying to slow that offensive push. The Cosmic Divide, though, still going to be invested, and this is part of it. SJSU, they feel like they kind of have to win these rounds out. Nightfall, though, to try to counter things out, get some information back the other way. Can be marked up. There is Chem. Velocity finding the kill onto Teddy. They are massacring this team, although kills are going to go back and forth. They're going to pick up a pair, and the paint shells are going to do the rest. 3v1. The blast back to finish off Chem. Why not for Witter? They're going to find this defuse, and they're going to find themselves on map point, 1 round away from knotting things up at once.
And it's exactly what we expected, you know, sort of a scuffed buy, but enough to potentially take some guns out of their hands. And Velocity says, you know what? I don't need to buy a gun. I just got it in my kit. I buy bullets instead. Able to find 3 for themselves. You see slowly creeping up that leaderboard there as well for themselves. And now full buys on both sides here. The economy from SJSU cannot afford even a costly win at that. A 1-person win still going to mean they are not being able to full buy next round, and really just comes down to having a clean victory this time. Of course, on the opposite side, there should be enough credits to make it work. You've got the Astral Divide, you've got the Showstopper. Can you make them work? SJSU going quick on this side already.
Yeah, they're going to try to go quick on this B-long. Velocity, though, just as quickly shutting down that raise. That's going to be the Showstopper offline as well. This is a massive play for Alberta. KO to tag. KO tag going to go out there. Curry going to end up finding that kill. Velocity does find that kill before he gets shut down. The Prowler follow is going to be perfect. all onto Khan now. He's played such a good series, but he is up against the weight of the world and the weight of Alberta, the weight of Canada. Now facing off against him, 12-9. Showstopper and Cosmic Divide. Man, I really don't know how he's going to try to splice this one, but ultimately, he's got to find somewhere. We're going over to map 3 with a 1-1 draw. Khan trying to ride out this time and be long. He knows his time isn't long on Pearl, though. It's just a matter of time till he gets picked off.
Yeah, and I mean, look at where the spike is. It's in probably the worst spot
literally
imaginable. It's underneath Heaven there. Khan just going to try and scan them all out. Gets 3 with that suppress, so at the very least going to try and take away some of that utility. It's just going to be the wall put up. It's going to be the snake bite. It's going to be absolutely everything. Khan just burning down 1 HP. Going to be able to find 1. That is all she wrote for Pearl. Alberta hold their map. We are tied up in the series. My goodness, another really close map. Not quite going to overtime, but nonetheless, Alberta holding, sir?
Yeah, Alberta showing why they are one of these top teams. Velocity really got going the second half of that game. We said he kind of had a quiet first half of the game, and then he slowly creeps his way back up into that match MVP slot one way or the other. We saw such a strong start from Atlas as well, finding 9 or 10 kills the first 3-4 rounds. So many of these players stepped up in such a big way, and credit to, I can't think of their name here, who was the other team? Brain fart here. Alberta, SJSU. So many teams today getting confused. But SJSU, you can see they have that warrior spirit. They are fighting tooth and nail. They did not want to go away on Pearl. Alberta, though, they just found that way to win those last 3-4 rounds. And hey, now it is a best of 3 to decide who will go over to LAN.
Very interested to see how it will all turn out. Of course, next map on the docket, I believe, is Bind. In this one, SJSU's pick, and one
we
that
haven't seen Bind in 2 days, I don't
biggest
think.
fan is. We haven't seen Bind in a while. I'm shocked at this point. I'm curious to see if we're going to see any change-ups in the meta in that point, because, of course, Cypher, a big pickup there, and Teddy's been a huge fan of the Cypher as well, so I am very interested to see how Bind ends up playing out. But overall, SJSU still putting up a decent fight there. I mean, it took them a while to get going on their own map pick, but even still on Pro, they were able to keep it even at the half, and after that, it started to fall by the wayside. But nonetheless, we are going to get ready for map 3. Give the teams a little bit of time to recharge. Give us a little bit of time to recharge as well. Yeah, honestly, we're going to need the ambulance after this one. Defibrillator to keep us alive on that one. But nonetheless, we will take the short break, and we will be back right after this with